hot stove season is here. Anybody who
It
knows
is
anything
indeed.
about baseball knows that the World Series ends so the drama can renew itself immediately.
I
There
love
is
that it's
no,
instant, by the way.
me
There's
too.
not like a week waiting period. Because if the World Series had ended on Sunday for Game 7, then it would have been within 12 hours, like everything, a flurry of
Yeah.
moves. But because the series was shorter than expected, or most of us anticipated, then we did have to wait a few days, but it still didn't feel like that much time.
Nope.
It's
Very
like before
fast.
we knew it, the guys were getting offers, guys were getting said they weren't going to get offers. It
Right.
was crazy.
Opt-in,
Right away.
opt-outs, right? Just
Yep.
like wham, bam. And it's very exciting. I love this time of year. I think it's really fun. And it's fun because we get it sweepstakes, like the Juan Soto deal this year is going to be a sweepstake. There are some other really big name free agents that
Mm-hmm.
that we're going to have to wait to see what's going to happen with. Some of them we don't have to wait already. We already know what's happened. It's a done deal.
Right.
Pretty
Yeah.
exciting stuff. So the first thing that happens in this winter meetings hot stove season is qualifying offers are issued. Teams say, "Hey, we know you're going into free agency, but take this money instead and stay with us." Don't you think that's a pretty good summary?
Yeah. The one thing you have to understand with the qualifying offer is it's like a set number,
It's a
right?
band-aid set number, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it is this year. I'll look it up. Keep talking, Brig.
Okay, so a number of players have received qualifying offers, a number haven't, and then there's a large list, a very large list of players who are no longer eligible to receive a qualifying offer. And we're going to get into all of that. We're going to hit you with some big names, and then we'll go down the list very quickly of those who are ineligible and why. So, Brad, did you figure out that number?
I did. It's just a shade over 21 million.
Okay.
21.05.
So please take $21 million so we don't have to fight about it and you don't have to go
And
looking
here's the
around.
thing: is if the player declines a qualifying offer and elects to go into free agency, the team gets a compensatory draft pick. So some
Yep.
teams will extend the qualifying offer to a player, knowing that they are worth more than that and that they're going to go to test free agency, simply so that they can get the compensatory draft pick. Because what do teams love more than draft picks? Nothing at all.
Just one World Series. That's it. It's like the only thing better than a draft pick is a World
That's
Series
right.
championship.
Yep.
And even some teams don't want that as bad as they want draft picks. Let's be
That's
completely
right.
honest.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And it is
100% correct.
100% a shame. Okay. I'm going to go through the lists of those who have received qualifying offers. Brad's going to go through those who were not offered. And then we'll get into eligibility and explain some of those things. This is the list of those who have received qualifying offers. Willie Adames with the Brewers, Pete Alonso with the Mets, Alex Bregman, Corbin Burns, Max Fried, Teoscar Hernandez, Sean Manaea, Nick Martinez with the Reds, Nick Pivetta with the Red Sox, Anthony Santander, Luis Severino with the Mets, Juan Soto, the Yankees, and Christian Walker, first base for the D-backs.
That's an interesting list. Do
It
you mind
really
if we
is.
talk about this real quick? So there's a few
Kick
on
it
there.
around. I think it's great.
So Alex Bregman, I don't think will accept the qualifying offer. Pete Alonso certainly will not. Willie Damas,
Mm-mm.
I doubt. Um,
I
Teoscar
can see
Hernandez
Corbin
might.
Burns accepting.
Maybe.
I
Yeah.
can see it.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know, but
Maybe.
I can see it.
Teoscar Hernandez, I think very well could, because
Mm-hmm.
he's got deferred money, so he's kind of like whatever I make now is gravy, right?
So much gravy.
Christian Walker, I could see him accepting it. You know who will not, though, for sure?
Hmm.
Mr. Juan Soto,
Oh yeah, no,
because he's
absolutely
worth
not.
way more than that. Worth
Oh
way
yeah,
more money than that. So there's no way he's going to accept it.
no,
He'll
hundred
go into
percent,
free agency, and the Yankees will get their draft pick and potentially get Juan Soto back even. Oh my goodness, could you
exactly.
imagine?
I can. I dream about it
Okay,
actually.
but we'll talk more about that in a little bit. So the guys who were not offered, you've got Paul Goldschmidt with the Cardinals, Walker Bueller with the Dodgers, Shane Bieber, Jurickson Profar, Hassan Kim, Tyler O'Neill, and Gleyber Torres. Hassan Kim actually opted out of his deal and then could receive the qualifying offer. And honestly, you know what? For him, it's probably better because I think he's going to get more money going somewhere else. He had a great year.
Yeah, he had a
Same
great
thing with
year.
Jurickson
I agree.
Profar. Man, talk about most valuable player. Jurickson Profar made $1 million this year and had the year that he did. That is a
Right.
bargain.
Oh yeah. If you're talking
Literally
most
the most
monetary
valuable.
valuable, yeah.
Yeah,
In terms
yeah.
of production per
And I
dollar.
know Otani only got 2 million this year, right?
Uh-huh.
But he's got
Yeah.
68 coming later down the road. So
Right.
really,
It's interesting and a little bit too bad, and maybe we should do this one year, is we should say per dollar who was actually the most valuable to the franchise
we
rather
should do
than
that.
the most valuable player based on statistics and contribution on the field. That would be
Yeah,
interesting.
that would be interesting. Yeah, I like that. We should play that game one of these years. Are you surprised at all about Gleyber Torres, Brig?
No,
Not even a little bit.
zero. He had a great off season or postseason. He really did.
He
He
had
came out,
fantastic postseason.
but he still let us not forget. He still led the league in errors at second base since like April or whatever. Like it,
Since like day one.
yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah. I'm not worried about that one. Um, Ineligible for qualifying offers. These are players who are eligible or ineligible because they have already received a qualifying offer and they can no longer receive it again. You get one chance, right? This list is really interesting. Alex Cobb with Cleveland, not San Francisco anymore. Now he's with Cleveland. Garrett Cole, Michael Conforto, Patrick Corbin with the Nationals, Nate Eovaldi in Texas, Yasmani Grandal in Pittsburgh, Jason Hayward, Kenley Jansen with Boston, Lance Lynn in St. Louis, Jock Peterson in Arizona, Martin Perez in San Diego, Marcelo Zuna, Anthony Rizzo, Carlos Santana in Minnesota, Max Scherzer in Texas, the Kansas City Will Smith, Blake Snell, Justin Turner, and Justin Verlander will not receive qualifying offers. They are ineligible.
Will Smith already has re-signed with the Royals, though.
As of
So
what, like 15 minutes ago?
I think it was earlier today. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. It
That's
was it
awesome.
was fairly recent. I think he got like a 3-year deal. So good for him.
Good for him. Yeah,
Doesn't
that's
have to
great.
go. Doesn't have to go test free agency. So
Now, there's another
I like that.
stipulation that players are ineligible to receive a qualifying offer based on percentage of service time spent within the minor league system of that ball club or days in service with the big league club itself. And if it doesn't add up just right, they're also ineligible. So that includes Matt Boyd, Josh Bell, Mark Canha, Paul DeJong, Carlos Estevez, Jack Flaherty, really interesting there, Danny Jansen, Jacob Yunis, Yusei Kikuchi, Michael Lorenzen, Frankie Montas, Tommy Pham, Ahmed Rosario, Tanner Scott, Jesse Winker.
Junis, you were right. Jacob Junis.
I thought so. Thank you.
Nailed it.
So there you go. That's like the big list of free agents that we're all going to be watching. That's like the main group of free agents.
That is, yeah,
If we're going
that's
to put
the
them in a
main
bucket.
prop.
Yeah.
Okay, so here are some interesting ones right here. Let's talk about player and club options.
Mm-hmm.
So Jordan Montgomery signed they call it a 1+1, where he signed a 1-year deal with a player option in the second year. Well,
Yeah.
he opted into that second year despite everything that the owner said not that long ago about it being a terrible contract, right? That
Oh
shouldn't have paid
man.
him all that money. And now here he is like, hey, guess what? You're going to pay me the rest of it. You're going to like it because
Yeah.
I'm going to be here.
That's exactly
I
right.
do wonder if there were some behind the scenes conversations and things were kind of mended, or if he strictly specifically did this to like spite the owner to make him
Yeah.
pay him that money and they're actually going to trade him.
It's very possible. Either way, he wins. Honestly, he didn't even have that great a year. So why would you
No,
opt out when you could opt in, guarantee
right,
yourself some
because
money?
you're worth less than that on the free market. So
Yes, you
it
are.
only makes sense to opt in.
I
Yeah.
think he was planning on staying no matter what. I think they were trying to get him to leave with some maybe sour taste in his mouth or whatever, and he was like, no.
I can wipe my tears with money. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't need you. You're going to get rid of me anyway. It's fine. Or I'll outshine your expectations and you'll keep me around. Either way, I'm going to
Yeah.
win. The D-backs are going to lose whatever happens in this deal. The owner will.
Unless he has an outstanding year and then they win because,
Yeah. And they keep him around. And yeah,
yeah.
100%.
Yep.
So a couple more before we get. Actually, why don't you walk us through Garrett Cole? And I've got a few more on this list I want to talk
Okay,
about.
so the Garrett Cole one was interesting. You look at on the surface level. On the surface level, everybody reported. Like I'm sure the notification popped up on everybody's phone that says Garrett Cole opts out of contract with the Yankees, and it was like,
That's what happened.
"Whoa, is he that upset at Anthony Rizzo that he's leaving now?" It's like, no. So Garrett Cole had 4 years, $144 million left on his deal with the Yankees. And so he opted out of those remaining 4 years. But here's the kicker is that the Yankees, there was a stipulation in there that said that the Yankees could void the opt out by offering him a 5th year worth $36 million. So his 4 years, $144 million turns into 5 years, $180 million. That is just good business sense. Makes perfect sense for him to do it because he knew they were going to pay him and bring him back for that 5th year.
Yeah. Easy.
I don't love the way Scotty B traditionally does business, but that's pretty dang good right there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I agree. Well, and everybody knows, I don't think it's any surprise that Garrett Cole wants to stay a Yankee.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like, he's
right.
made
Like
it very
he had
clear.
that poster from a kid or whatever.
They keep bringing the poster out. Yeah, like it's
Yeah,
okay. So
yeah. He doesn't want to be anywhere else.
couple of interesting names around the league is Randall Grichuk, $6 million mutual option with a $500,000 buyout. He did exercise his end of the option to become a free agent with the D-backs. Jock Peterson also declined his option and became a free agent. Gino Suarez also picked up. Well, he picked up his club option. The
Yeah,
D-backs
they
did.
picked it up. Yeah, they picked up his option,
Yeah.
which I think is great. Good for him. A lot of Mariners fans are upset. They were really
Yeah.
hoping that the D-backs wouldn't pick it up and that he would end up back in Seattle.
Yeah, exactly. Darno declined. The Braves declined. Marcell Ozuna, the Braves picked up their club option with Ozuna. So, and we could go down like Manuel Margot with the Twins. I thought was really interesting. Let me get down
So
there.
the one with Ozuna, I think makes sense, and I think we knew that they were going to pick it up when they dealt Jorge Soler,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because to the Angels, it's so weird. I don't know. We could talk about that in a minute, but
yeah,
but I think the Braves found out that Soler can't really play outfield anymore the way that he did when he was there last time. Like this guy is DH first, maybe outfield second. So we cannot have two outfielder or we cannot have two DHs on this roster. We got to get rid of one of them. They got rid of Soler. They kept Ozuna because he was better this year,
yeah.
start to finish, way better. So I think it just made sense for them to pick up his deal and ship off Soler because of all things, this was funny to me, Brig. Real quick, the Angels shipped off a pitcher to Atlanta for Jorge Soler. So now the Angels are minus a pitcher, which they need, and they bring
Yeah.
in another DH to play
Because they
with
don't
Mike
need.
Trout, who they've talked about switching to DH and corner outfield. I'll give them that, but still, like, what are you doing?
Well,
I
and
don't know.
if you look at club options and player options, any contract options, guess how many the Angels have that they're trying to manage?
A bajillion.
Zero.
Zero.
Zero. which is
Well,
just
it's
as
because
shocking.
everybody besides Trout is still pre-arbitration, it's almost like they're trying to just like shed so much payroll. But they took on all of Soler's money, which is not a small amount of money.
No, it's
So
not.
there's weird stuff going on down in Anaheim, man. I don't know. I don't know.
In complete no brainer news, right? In super duh, I should say super duh news, the Brewers picked up their option on Freddie Peralta. Like, of course. So that's cool.
That only
Phil
makes sense.
Maton with the Mets. Mets declined. Sean Manaea opted to become a free agent, as we said. Um, Luke Weaver. The Yankees have secured Luke Weaver for one more
You got a
season.
bag. You
Yeah.
got a bag.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about this, Brick, because I saw this. I immediately thought of you. I
$2.5
wanted to ask
million.
you. That's a lot. That's a lot of tortillas.
Yeah.
So, do you think Luke Weaver's short? I guess you'd call it a relatively small sample size, especially
I
compared
agree.
to his body of work before. Do you think his small sample size is worthy of 2.5 million going forward?
Well, I think it better be.
Oh, well, yeah, it better be.
I don't know. He seemed well suited to the job. He performed or outperformed all expectations.
Outperformed, absolutely.
Yeah, he I mean, the guy had never been a closer. He stepped into the role in September, late August, early
Mm-hmm.
September, and shut it down. Redefined himself entirely. If you look at his last few seasons compared to this one,
Oh yeah,
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
he came to Seattle. And Mariners fans were like, "Oh yeah, we'll fix him." That pitching the pitching coaches, they're gonna fix him. They couldn't figure it out with him.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
and it was almost like if they can't figure it out with him, he must be a lost cause. Then he went to New York, and I was like, "Good luck, buddy." And man, I'm
Yeah,
so happy for that guy though. Like,
seriously.
thrilled that he has found his spot finally and that he's thriving. I just don't know if it's going to continue into next year or the year after.
Who knows? Nobody knows. But like, it was awesome. And if he can continue to be awesome, forget about it. It's going to be so awesome. I just happen
It
to
will
be
be,
really
you're right.
happy for him and really happy to have him. So that's kind of the end of that.
Of course. Especially with
Yeah,
the way he played in the
there's a
postseason.
ton of other names on here. I mean, it's
There's a
too many to
bunch.
go through, but
One notable
ultimately, yeah,
that I see on this list now is Josh Bell.
yeah.
That's going to be really interesting because he's been so up and down over the last while, right?
Well, yeah,
So I think it'll be interesting because he's a switch hitting power first baseman.
right. The
So I don't
size of
know.
the Washington Monument.
Yes, he is a mountain of a man, quite literally. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he's going to end up. I don't know how it's going to go for him, but he is going to find a landing spot for sure where he will start, and he'll probably have a pretty decent year.
Yeah, I agree.
That'll be interesting to see. Can we talk about Juan Soto for a minute though?
Yeah, please.
Because I saw something really interesting. Let's wrap this part up with Juan Soto, because as
Love
we
it.
know, Juan Soto is the dude on the market this year. Last year was Ohtani. This year it's Juan Soto.
Yeah,
So I saw the betting odds for where they think he's going to go. Let me
yeah,
get those pulled up real quick because the Yankees are the heavy
yeah.
favorites for the betting odds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily know if they should be based on what I saw today. There was just a quote from Steve Cohen that came out.
I saw the same. Go ahead.
Did you saw what he said? Where he said basically nobody's going to offer him more than we are.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and what that came down to is anywhere he goes that's not the Mets will be a pay cut. That the Mets are going to use their bottomless funds to get
Yeah.
him because they want him. I don't want to say they want him more than anybody, but they think they do. Right?
That's what they're telling the world, which is what they want to be telling him.
Right.
They're
So
just
this was
working
the
the
thing that's funny.
press
I can't find
to
it. I
make
don't know
it
what happened
known.
to it. It was on anyway. So this is the thing that's funny. I was looking at that, and the Yankees were like minus 225. You're getting minus money if you pick Soto to go to the Yankees. And then it
Right.
was like the Mets were the next, like plus 600 or something like that. And then it went down. The Padres were plus 6,000. That was the bottom. That was the bottom line that they were showing. But in the mix there,
Mm.
in the middle, was like the Nationals at plus 1,200.
I saw that.
I was like,
No way.
there's no way the Nats are
No.
plus 1,200 and the Padres are plus 6,000. Like
100% not
who in their
possible.
right mind is wasting money by putting it on the Nationals?
And also, who in their right mind is wasting our time listing the Nationals on the betting odds?
Well,
Like,
they put the top like 10 and
oh,
they
I
were in the
know.
top 10. Like
I
that was
know.
the thing that blew my mind.
I saw the
Just
same
like,
list.
what? And
I don't
then
know.
number 3 though was the Dodgers. I want to say they were plus 800 at the time. So, that's
I've
scary for
heard
the rest
that.
of the league.
The World Series had not yet ended when the Dodgers said we will be throwing our hat in the ring.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think, okay, this is my thing. So I saw that, and this is the thing that I thought, is that we are going to find out a whole lot about what Juan Soto wants the rest of his career
Yeah.
based on where he goes.
Yeah.
Okay? That if he wants money, he'll go to the Mets. If he wants
Probably.
to win, like if all he wants to win, if all he wants to do is win, he's going to go to the Dodgers.
If he goes to the Dodgers, then that's probably all that will happen is they'll win.
Right. But this is the thing too. You have to remember is that there's a lot of off the field money to be made in LA.
Oh yeah.
So he could take just like in New York though. Like he's just going to be making
Same.
stacks, as my son says, racks on racks in New York. If he goes to the Mets, like there's so much money to be made off the field there. But in LA, he can make up any gaps and then some with off the field money.
I think you're right.
So
But I think he can do
the
that in New
money
York
thing.
too.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't.
yeah, if he's getting paid all the money by the Mets, plus he'll be making money off the field, like
Excuse me.
nothing to worry about.
The
Or New York,
Yankees are
or
in
the
New
Yankees.
York.
Right,
Thank
they
you.
are. But Brig, do you think Hal Steinbrenner is going to pay as much money as Steve Cohen is willing to pay?
I doubt it. I honestly doubt
That's
it.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
If Juan Soto ends up back in the Bronx, it will be a Christmas miracle. But we're not going to know by Christmas. Sorry.
Because I would put the Yankees at third, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because your priorities are money with the Mets, winning with the Dodgers. The Yankees' familiarity would be third to me.
Well, not just familiarity, but there would have to
But
be a lot more.
that would be the deciding factor for me if he stayed with the Yankees, is that it's familiarity. He's there already, and I don't know that he necessarily cares about that because he can go anywhere, walk into the clubhouse, and everybody's going to welcome him with open arms because he's Juan freaking Soto.
100%. The one thing that the Yankees have going for him is the ballpark is built for him.
Yeah.
So if he's concerned about offensive statistics and legacy padding, then the Bronx is not a bad spot for him.
Yeah. So I'm looking real quick. Dodger Stadium down the right field line is $330.
Right.
Okay. What is it at Yankee Stadium? Do you know off the top of your head on the short porch?
3. You look it up. It's 314. Is it 314?
Okay. City Field is also 330.
318. No, that's
okay.
left. Sorry, 314
right.
to right. That's what I thought. 314 to right.
Okay.
Wow, I got that right.
So
I should know that. That shouldn't have been that hard.
I had you on the spot. So that's 16 feet shorter. I don't think that 16 feet makes a huge difference to Juan Soto, to be honest with you.
Nah, probably not.
The ball flies in
right.
L.A.
Sure does. That's a
and
fact.
don't get me wrong. Like I do not want Juan Soto to go to the Dodgers because at that point it's almost like,
right.
What's the point? What's the point?
Only Dodgers fans want Juan Soto to go to the Dodgers.
Right. Yeah. Nobody else in the league wants him there.
I don't think any of the fan bases at any
Because
level.
I don't think anybody wanted Ohtani going to the Dodgers. But I think
No.
I think deep down we all knew. Okay, side note. Did I tell you about this? That I saw this thing about Ohtani going to the Dodgers, that when he came over from Japan, he wanted to go to the Dodgers. Like, he was ready to go to the Dodgers. But then he told
Yeah.
them, I got to be able to DH because I don't want to play in the field.
Yeah.
And so, because I didn't have the DH in the National League at the time, he went to the Angels because he wanted to be in Southern California.
Wow.
It was like, it was between, the thing that I saw said it was between the Dodgers, the Angels, and the third team was the Mariners, but they were still out pretty early.
Yeah.
So then it went down to the two because the Dodgers didn't have the DH. He went to the Angels, and then once the Dodgers got the DH, it was like a no-brainer immediately. It was just like,
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to move down the road.
Yeah.
Into actual Los Angeles.
Yeah. Not in Anaheim.
Not Anaheim.
See that mansion that he bought in LA?
No, I didn't see it.
It's like a $7.8 million mansion, and I was looking at it, I was like, oh, it's a mid-century modern.
No, yeah, of course. Very demure.
Very, very demure, yes. Demure. That's right. That's exactly what it was. All right, sorry, I've gone off.
I hate that term is moving around as much as it is, because there are multiple ways to use that term, and that is the one I use it for the least. And
I think it's hilarious that you actually use that term.
You were sitting there with me and Mike Farnes, and we were having, what were we eating? Poke bowls or tacos or something? No, it was.
I think we were eating wings.
Wings. It was wings.
Because that's the only thing I've ever eaten with Mike. Is wings.
Yeah, you're right. It was wings. And I used the word demure, and you guys both looked at me, and Mike said something like, only Brig
would describe a chicken wing as demure.
I don't know if that's
right.
I don't know if that's what I was describing. I was definitely not describing a chicken wing as demure, but I use it as a verb, okay, not as an adjective. But that's different.
All right.
Whatever. Okay.
All right.